All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream slash video. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I have about an hour and I made an example project in Godot. And I have a game that I want to take from JavaScript and make it like a legit game from scratch. And just see how it goes. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna upload it to YouTube and stream it, and hopefully people who know what they're talking about are gonna come in here and be able to assist me or entertain me throughout this process, or I'll be able to entertain them. The goal should be to be entertaining, not to be entertained. So I'm going to be starting a new project. Let's see, and I'm gonna be calling this idle production. What about if I do mobile? Support desktop and mobile platforms, less advanced 3D graphics. I'm not going to be doing any 3D graphics. Less scalable for complex scenes. Uses rendering device backend. I guess I'll do the mobile renderer. Make this mobile compatible. Why not? So let's make this thing. So I already have a bunch of game files and assets created for the game when I was making it in the we'll go into 2D. And we're gonna do a 2D scene. We're gonna call this main scene. And save that really quick. Main scene, save. All right. So let's see. I lost track of where I was at with that. Oh, I already made, let's see. I already made some of the assets and stuff for the game. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to just plop in these PNGs. And see, there's the actual market. Get this done. I made those, which I was quite proud of at the time, considering how little time I had. I'm just gonna be taking the assets folder from my old project and plopping it down right over here. So then I have all of the assets I need, the music, the icons, everything else. I did a tutorial. And that tutorial project is actually up right over here so that I can like see how I did, try and see at least all of the things that I did in the previous thing. And honestly, I should actually probably have the tutorial up over here as well, just in case I get stuck and need to go back to information that was in the tutorial. How do I adjust the width and the height? Ah, it's under project settings. All right, so project settings, window, viewport width and viewport height. Let's see, do I want this? I want to try and make it resizable. I think I'm just going to leave this as is. The main scene, this is the main scene, select current. So this is kind of what's expected here. There's not really anything here. I am going to have to make a tile asset for this project. So I have Affinity Designer up, and a good chunk of my goal with this whole thing, I guess, is to just document the whole entire process I'm going through in order to do my first foray into game making, into solo game dev. So I have this tile here. I'm gonna have to make tiles. It's a let's see. I'm just gonna make a tile that covers the whole entire area like this, make a rectangle. Put it up on the edges. And then this is gonna have a fill of probably like a brown-ish color. And make sure it takes up like the whole entire background. Actually, I don't have to line everything up exactly like that. And then I should probably texture this. This is gonna be the ground tiles. So these are going to be repeated throughout the whole entire level. And so I'm probably gonna want to put down maybe some like other rectangles, but make it like different colors, and we'll take this one and we'll copy and paste it, put down another one over here, do like this, paste another one, do it like this, and then we'll do the same thing except a darker color. So we'll take the color on this one and we'll make it kind of like a more of like a dirt color. I don't know. Just making like a really simple set of tiles here, and then these are going to be the texture that's on the map. So actually that looks really bad. Let's adjust the color here a little bit. This sort of like default color probably needs to be a little bit. Something I guess like that. This can be adjusted later, but we'll just roll with this as being like the base tile. So let's see, we're just gonna save this really quick. Make a new folder. Hey CB, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're going to be making a folder for all of the game assets. Oh God. So this is a different kind of stream. So I am doing my first, there we go, my first attempt at doing some game development. And I'm going to be trying to basically just document the process and see how this works. So right now I'm making like a really, really basic ground texture. And this is going to be like a tile that goes down in the game. And then there's going to be building options. So, well, thank you for hanging out. Like that, and we'll save this. So save, and then I'm going to export it really quick. All right, and then let me minimize this. I'm going to grab that asset right here, ground texture. I'm gonna throw the ground texture inside the assets right here, like so. So now I have a ground texture PNG in here. And then I'm going to have to make a new scene. It's going to be a 2D scene. This is going to be the ground tiles, or ground tile. I'm going to add a child node, and it's going to be a tile map. Hold on, no. This is the individual tile. So I'm not adding a tile map. I'm gonna add the tile map to the main scene. Add a child node, tile map. We're gonna create a tile map, and the tile map is gonna have a tile set, new tile set, shape is square. And how do I add a tile? Textures just inherit. I still don't quite know how this works. This is the whole entire, gonna be struggling through this. Node history. Not quite sure how to add a tile to this. So we're going to do this a different way. Get rid of the tile map. Don't quite know how to do it, but I do know how to do this with the ground tile. So we're going to add a texture. I think texture rect. And then the texture rect is going to take on the ground texture like this. To adjust the size of this texture, I think. Ignore size. There we go. Okay, so now I need to set the width and the height of this texture because I do want it to be maybe like 32 by 32. This node doesn't have a control parent. Transform. There we go. Okay, so we'll make it, looks like it's already 40 pixels by 40 pixels, and honestly, that doesn't look too bad. I think I'll be able to scale it if I need to. Yeah, exactly. That's what learning's about. So, my hope is that eventually, as I work through this project, one, I get people like who know how to do this in here. So let's see. I also need to make a, oh, it's not a texture, it's a sprite. It's a sprite. Hold on. I need to add a sprite to this, not a texture. Sprite 2D. This is gonna have the ground texture on it. Now it's directly in the middle. Centered. And then transform. I need to scale it to like 0.25. There we go. So it's a lot smaller than it was. Okay. So I have a sprite. I'm going to add in a highlight. Which is another sprite. And so this is hopefully going to be, we're going to call this ground texture. And then we're going to call this highlight. And then the highlight is going to have a different texture on it. I want to just put a like the same texture but slightly different, so then it sort of like visibly looks different. We'll do new. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Let's see. How did I do it on my last project? All right, so here's what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll go over the top of it all with a new box. And the new box is going to be very similar to the old box, except the opacity is going to be really low, like that. And it's going to be green. Or blue. It's gonna be blue. I don't know, something like this. And then I'm just gonna do, this is the texture hover. Gonna export. Ground texture hover. Save that. Okay. So now when we go back in here, the highlight, I just have to throw the hover texture over here inside assets. Ground texture hover is going to go in here like this. We're going to scale it the same as transform, scale 0.25. So it's exactly the same as the other one. Hidden like that. So now when you hover over it, the idea would be that it changes color to let you know that you've got it hovered correctly. I'm gonna have to add another sprite here. And the idea here being that when you put a building on top of it, the building is gonna show up on top. So like the iron ingot or the I made a bunch of dumb jokes when I was naming the assets. So like the copper ore is copper I hardly know her. Just because I was being dumb. I didn't actually think that any of this was actually going to end up anywhere. And yet here we are. Copper I hardly know her. Okay, so this is gonna get dynamically adjusted, so we just leave it as is, I believe. And then last thing is I need to set up a collision shape 2D. So the shape is gonna be square, rectangle, and let's see, we need to make it the same size as this tile. So I can just drag up the corners into the right spot, I guess. And then this way the game engine will know when clicked. We'll be able to use the collision shape for that. Okay, so I did do something wrong. I need to make a new node, and it needs to be an area 2D node. And it needs to be the parent node for all this stuff. So I'm gonna grab all this, stick it on the area 2D, and then, oh, change type. We're gonna change it to an area 2D, like this. There we go. And then we're gonna grab all this, put it right here, and delete that. All right, cool. So now the collision shape is on the ground tile, which is a area 2D object. And then this should have all of the things that we need. I need to add a script to this tile. We're gonna call it groundtile.gd. All right, so I don't quite know what I'm supposed to do with the script at the moment though. So we have the main scene. I need to add in tiles. So I'm gonna add in a ground tile right here, like this. And I'm gonna turn on grid snapping so that the whole thing fits into a grid. And then I need to shrink the size of this thing. So I'm gonna make it even smaller. We're gonna make it 0.25 in size. There we go. Okay. It's not lining up perfectly in the corner, and that's bothering me. Why? .24. There we go. Okay. It's close enough for me. So, I'm going to make cannot paste the root node in. Oh, grabbing the, there we go. So we're gonna make a second tile. Oh, why is it so much smaller? There we go. So we're going to duplicate this tile right here. Duplicate these two tiles. So I need a, that's 5. So we're going to duplicate this. Oh, right. And we're going to make it a 10 by 10 grid right here. So duplicate that. Oh, that's right. I keep on grabbing the root node. Duplicate here. Oh, that's what's happening, is it's putting these as a child when it shouldn't be. And that's why the scaling was getting all messed up. Okay, so we're gonna ungroup all of those. There we go. All right, so wait, what is that? There we go. So now we're gonna take all this and duplicate. Move it down, duplicate, move it down, duplicate, move it down. So I just need to grab 4 rows, duplicate, and move down. So this will give us a 10 by 10 grid, which takes up the whole entire screen this way, which is fine. I'm gonna grab everything and move it over. I want to try and stick it in the middle. Oh, perfect. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is just about in the middle. And then the UI for the game is going to be on this side and on this side. So perfect. All right. So I'm going to make a child node, and it's just going to be a node. And this is going to be a tile folder. And so all 200. Wait, why are there 200 tiles? There should only be 100 tiles. Did they double up on top of each other? Ground tile 1 and ground tile 3. Uh-oh. I done goofed. I did duplicate a bunch of them. Did I duplicate all of them? I duplicated all of them. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna unduplicate this on the top row. We'll get through this. And then I'm gonna delete all of these and delete all of these. So now that the top row is unduplicated, duplicate and move down, duplicate and move down, duplicate and move down, duplicate and move down. There we go. Now there should be only 100 tiles. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. There we go. Now there should be only 100 tiles. Wait, why do I have 101 tiles? It's really quick. Okay, well, it looks like the numbering is just a little bit off, but there's only 100 tiles. So we got all 100 tiles inside of this tile holder. The next step after putting down the map is going to be to put down the UI. So we're going to make a new scene. It's going to be a user interface scene, and we're going to call this root part the UI. Fairly simple, and it's giving me a handy little box to show me where the UI is going to go. So I'm gonna save this really quick. UI, yes. All right. So let me just go to my reference. Okay. So the UI is going to be it's going to have a texture rect, and the texture rect is going to, there was a way to make like a color. Color. Placeholder texture. Oh, because it's not a texture rect, it's a color rect. That's why. That's why I'm running into issues. It's color. And we're gonna make the color black. So a semi-transparent black. So 255. So that'd be, I want to cut it in half. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 7. 127-ish. Not a mathematician, but that's just gonna have to do. And then I want this to fit in to the side like that. So when we look on the main scene, there's gonna be a little bit of a gap between the board area and the two sort of like menus. And the two menus are going to hold a lot of information. All of the building icons are going to be over here on the left menu, and then information on the building is going to be over here on the right menu. So we're going to say build holder, and then we're going to say info holder. Because these two things are literally going to be holding the buttons for the build menu and the information on the building. Okay, so we're starting to get somewhere, and then I'm going to put the I in here. Make it a child of the main scene. So. And then everything is basically going to fit within this area. I'm going to have probably some other background or something like that over here. Actually, I can put this in the UI. And then make the tiles on top of it. I don't know, let me test this out. I'm going to put in a color rect again. And I'm just going to put it underneath, and we'll have it be this, and then we'll, let's see, let me decrease the size of this thing to right there and to right there, and then it's got to be a big gray for now, like this. And so now when I save this, I go over to here, I hit play, it should just show okay, so I can already kind of see a problem in that my tiles need a border around them. Because each tile just sort of like bleeds together in the texture. So I need something that goes around the outside. So I'll make like a little rectangle up here, like that. And I'm gonna make a quick group, put it inside the group, and we're gonna call this the edge, like this. And so I'm gonna grab this thing and then copy paste, move it down. It's gonna be longer than it needs to be. Copy paste, and I'm just gonna rotate it 90 degrees like that. Put it up against the edge, and voila. So all of these are going to be solid, and we'll make it maybe like a black. Oh, I probably should have finalized all the edges before putting them all down, or I should just make a square. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna delete all this and get rid of the group. Going to just make a square like that. And we're gonna make no fill, but it's gonna have a stroke, and the stroke is gonna be probably like, let's say 10. I'll just make sure that's exactly lined up on the edge on every corner. So we'll only realistically be getting half of the pixels because a stroke of 10 goes, I believe, 5 on one side and 5 on the other. There we go. But this will make it really easy to adjust the width, because if I want to make it wider, I just say like 20, like that. And then the black is a little bit too strong, so we'll grab it and we'll make it like a, kind of like a dark gray. I don't know, almost like a sidewalk around the edge of the construction zone, let's say. That should help distinguish the tiles. So save this really quick. We're going to call this sidewalk, because why not? And we're going to export. Exporting it as a PNG. Oh. Ground texture with border. Okay. So now that I've done that, we're going to go to the ground tile and go into assets. Going to grab the ground texture with border, throw it into the assets. There we go. Grab the ground texture and we're going to throw in ground texture with border. All right, so now looking at these tiles, it should be that when we hit play, we see the border. It's not great, but at least you can see each individual tile. All right, so now we sort of have, we have the basics of where the UI is going to be. We have the basics of the oh, wait. I'm missing something. I'm going to need to adjust this project a little bit. I'm going to go into project settings and I definitely need to increase the height. So we're going to make this maybe like at least 1,000 pixels tall. Because the top of the screen, there we go. The top of the screen is going to have a status bar. And the status bar needs to have oh, I'm moving the tile holder, but it's not moving the tiles. Oh. So I need to move the tiles down. Somewhere near-ish to the middle, maybe? And then we'll grab the UI. We'll grab the UI and line it up as well. Okay. Yeah, so there's going to be another UI element up here. So we're going to have a bar right here-ish. That's going to hold on to the hold on. I need to make sure that the UI stays in the corner, and when I make adjustments to the UI, I actually move the UI in here so that everything stays relatively where it should. So I've got 4 boxes up above. So, oops. When I save this, Move the UI. When I save this, it should move the UI. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna grab all these tiles and we're gonna line them up with the UI like that. All right. Cool. So now there's a little bit of space over here. I'm gonna need to adjust this and fix that so that it's not going over, but we'll make more adjustments later. This is starting to shape out okay. You can see the grid, so that's nice. We have the areas for the stuff. So the next little bit is to add in a bar up here. And so we're gonna add in a, wait, did I add in another? Oh, no. So we're gonna add a child node, color rect, create, and it's gonna go over here, cut all the way across the UI, take up maybe like, let's say 1 square of space. I want to match it to this. So I'm going to grab this hex value right here. Paste it. Oh. Why? Why can't I just actually copy the hex code? Copy. There we go, that worked. Boom. So now it matches up. And so there's gonna be a bunch of little text boxes in here that are going to be holders for the numbers of resources that we have. Yeah, so when I save that, that goes in right here. And I'm probably going to be adjusting a lot of this stuff later. Like the gray is just a placeholder. Or the black, the semi-transparent black, it's just a placeholder. Eventually it's hopefully going to look better. All right. So I don't have a ton of time left. So I think I'm just actually going to be calling it here. So just so you guys can see what it is I'm going to be trying to making. Let me pull it up really quick. Oh, wrong button. And then I think that we'll just raid Eternity. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Okay, so just so you guys can see what exactly it is that we're going to be making, this is what I'm working on making. I've already made it in JavaScript, and I'm going to be remaking it in this engine. So there's going to be like buildings that you can build and little tooltips and a tutorial. And then when you click on a building and click on the board, it makes the building. And as you put down buildings, eventually your money is going to go up and you'll be able to put down buildings like these iron mines. And then you sell all the goods and it increases your money amount so that you can build more buildings. So this is the game that's in progress, just so that you can kind of see where I'm trying to go with it. Except I want it to be more functional, more performant. So yeah, that's where this whole thing is going. And then if you look here, I have little animations on transferring goods. It's turning into iron ingots. So this is it. So yeah, just so you guys can see kind of like where it's all going. I'm trying to get the basics set up and then I'll be able to beautify it later. But that is all that I have time for. Perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.